And let's go back to Professor Kumar. And it's right now, we've just over under 1 hour right now. I do want to leave some time for those who are part of this call to be able to ask some questions. So let's go to Professor Kumar, and then we can maybe hear from a couple of you who've been referenced in the conversation so far in terms of follow-ups, and then we'll open things up. Okay, so Professor Kumar, if you would unmute yourself.
Thank you. From the Indian perspective, I think for integration, the Indian state has to be the primary duty bearer. If you look at the migrants who are coming and to the places where they would go back, I think there are differential capacities. So migrants, if you talk about how they can integrate themselves, they have differential capacities. Also the provinces, because we have a federal structure, so the provinces also have differential capacities. And then the civil society also in different states, they have different capacities. Now look at the overall situation. Before COVID, India was experiencing very high level of unemployment. In fact, just before, say in 2019, we got the first the survey report of periodic labor force survey, and which said that India was at the level of the unemployment rate, which was highest in last 45 years. Now, after COVID, the report suggests that we have lost more than 100 million jobs. That means those who are coming back, they have to also compete with the locals, those who are migrants or those who are not migrants. But because there is loss of job, so they have to compete with people here. That's the first major problem in this integration process. Then states like Kerala have better capacity to deal with the returnee migrants, which the four, I think, top sending states of UP, Bihar, Rajasthan, and West Bengal, they do not have that capacity. Okay, so and then if you look at the civil society, so for last 5-6 years, there have been attempts to completely say to make them run out of money. So there are so many changes in legislations and rules, so that the source of funding of civil societies have almost dried up. It has reduced to less than 1/3 what it used to have been in the past. So their capacity to help people is really, really limited. Now, in this situation, if we are working on integration, then integration is likely to be really difficult. Now, look at but still, what are the opportunities? See, I have already discussed the work profile of the migrants. So if I consider that those who come back and they have the same work profile, in that case, because largest number of migrants from India are in construction industry, so maybe work program are going to be major help for migrants, both internal, because internally also more than 50% migrants work in construction industry. So work program, work expense, that has to be expanded. We have at present only rural work program, which is called Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Program. Can we have similar program in urban areas, which can be used as wage subsidy program to also help revive the medium and small scale industries, so MSMEs. So if that can happen to some extent, that will generate employment. And at this stage, India requires massive investment in these work programs, and both for the local say workers, the internal migrants, and also international migrants. Then we require large scale direct income support. And at present, what we see that there is a huge package announced by the government, which is almost up to 10% of the GDP, but it's not income support program, it's basically loan support program. And these are mostly in the form of loan guarantees. So we require income support program, which is at present very meager. And then we also, for integration, we also have to ensure that generally what happens in any epidemic or any disaster situation, that all the, say, your pre-existing inequalities, pre-existing bias, pre-existing discrimination, and also your all the fault lines, they also get magnified. So if you look at caste discrimination, if you look at the discrimination on the basis of religion, all these are more active at present than pre-COVID situation. So we also need to deal with these situations. Without that, just economic package or just some job is not going to happen, because then there will be discrimination. Who will get the job? So we need to also say, deal with at that level. And then we also require social, psychosocial support. That's also important part of any integration program. And then finally, I would also say that what about those who are very vulnerable, those who migrated for the first time, those who have borrowed money, how those are going to be compensated? This we have to think about those people also who are more vulnerable. Now, I don't see at present any integration plan of the government, and as I said, without Indian state, integration is not going to be possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much.